Thank you for joining me, Aina Kweyo, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports, and economic news. Coming up in today's broadcast, exam paper theft suspects have a baby together. There will be a ruling soon on bail for Fishrot accused, and Namcor, Mulunga in secret payout talks. Follow all our programs on our website, which is called oneup2.com, or on our DSTV channel, which is channel 285, or GoTV 25 in Namibia. At the graduation ceremony for the Institute for Open Learning yesterday, Deputy Executive Director for the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Edda Bon, delivered her keynote address. She says while the education sector faces challenges, graduates should use their acquired education to bring transformative change. The ceremony takes place at the Country Club in Windhoek, and with over 850 graduates recognized.
With these challenges lie opportunities for transformation. Your education hasn't just equipped you with the knowledge, it has bestowed on you the power to be that agent of change. And please embrace that you are the greatest influencer in your circles. As you step into the world, remember that you hold within yourself the potential to contribute to the betterment of the education sector. Your voices, your ideas, and your actions matter. Engage in a constructive dialogue, advocate for equitable access to education, and be proactive to seek for solutions. Furthermore, the role of technology in education cannot be understated. Embrace innovation, explore technological advancements, and the leverage of digital tools to bridge the gap between education and accessibility. Your familiarity with technology can pave the way for innovative solutions that transcend traditional barriers.
Let us have a look at what is happening over the weekend, courtesy of Weekend Gig Guide.
Good day, NMH at 1 viewers. My name is Michael Kayunde, and welcome to another edition of the Weekend Gig Guide. This is the segment where I get to let you guys know some of the events that are taking place in and around the country, so you may check them out. To start with, you can catch That Is Chill sessions tonight on Namibian Sun's Facebook page at 1900 hours. That's the show where I get to take you in and around the country, showcasing you the trending music videos for the week. You can also catch the show the same time, that is on NTV, DSTV channel 285. Moving along with other events you can still check out tonight, you can expect to check out, that is the 9th edition of Zambezi Night, which is taking place at the Cage. So it's basically an event that is meant at celebrating the music and culture of the Zambezi region. The lineup includes DJ Vuyo, DJ Sia, DJ Kiki, and many more. So the pre-sold tickets are sold out only at the gate, and if you are a supporter of that is the Zambezi culture, please make sure that you make your way to the Cage and enjoy, that is the 9th edition of the Zambezi Nights. Moving along with another event you can expect to check out this weekend, you can expect to check out, that is the Volcast Music Festival, which is taking place tomorrow at that is the Windhoek High School playground. You can expect to check out performances by the likes of Mikasa as well as Paige from South Africa. Tickets are available through my e-ticket for that show. That's all I had prepared for you for this weekend Gig Guide segment. Until next time, it's goodbye.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
In our visual news this afternoon, Governor Neville Andre Itope of the Erongo region marked the 33rd Police Day by delivering a welcoming remark, urging reflection on the unwavering commitment and sacrifices made by law enforcement. Frida Moloto reports.
The recognition of the dedication and sacrifice of our brave men and women in uniform. It is also a momentous occasion to celebrate the achievement and excellence of the Namibian police force. As we are celebrating today, let us reflect on the unwavering commitment and sacrifice demonstrated by our law enforcement officers. In the face of challenge, they stand as guardians of peace and symbols of justice. As a governor of the Erongo region, I'm proud of the exceptional leadership or exceptional relationship I observe between the police force and the community leaders. We have witnessed how beneficial
The Namibia Grape Company, a subsidiary of the National Youth Service and its partner Cape Span, on Wednesday celebrated the maiden export of Namibian grapes through Namibian port. Nampor's Chief Executive Officer Andrew Kanime shares more. Nicanor Nangolo reports.
We are handling this cargo today not because we have necessarily perfected ourselves or that we have necessarily become more cost effective or more cost efficient compared to our neighbors, but because of the operational challenges which are being faced by the traditional export channel through Cape Town. It is of course deserving of great praise that Namibia has stepped in to rescue the situation where our neighboring ports are under operational strain. But the challenge of course for all of us here today is that we must meticulously deliver on our respective roles at the lowest possible cost on the
United States Ambassador to Namibia Randy Berry gave a private tour to the media through the new state-of-art embassy building, which started with construction in 2019 and will be fully operational towards the end of January 2024. This project injected approximately 310 million Namibian dollars into Namibia's economy, according to the ambassador. Elizabeth Cabes reports.
our new home in Windhoek. As you know, this is what we have in front of us in the coming weeks is a really exciting transition. It's the biggest change that we have seen operationally in our presence here since independence. So we do love our dear and former working spaces, but we are very, very excited to move into this new state-of-the-art facility. So much so that we wanted to take an opportunity before we go operational and before we even formally cut the ribbon on this, which will happen next week, is to give those of you in the media a bit of an advance peek to share what we think are some of the really positive new aspects of our facility here. So in a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Scott to give you a briefing, a little bit of how this developed. So I think many of you will have seen this space develop over the last 3 years and a bit of change that we have been implementing this process. We've been very, very proud of a few key elements, and where I'm going to spend a little bit of my time sort of just drawing your attention is when Scott is providing the brief. One thing that I am enormously proud of on this site is that if you take a look at the aesthetics of the site, the colors that inform the outside, the flora and the fauna, all of it has been built and implemented with the deepest sort of efforts to respect the local environment, to account for energy consumption, to account for water consumption on site. So it's that marriage.
After the break, we return with newspaper review.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
The Namibian Sun reports that embattled oil parastatal Namcor, which finds itself in a dire financial situation, is said to be in secret discussions to terminate the employment of its suspended managing director Emmanuel Mulunga. This is according to company insiders who claim the parties are close to reaching an agreement, with discussions now fixed on the amount Mulunga would receive to vacate his position. On page 3, the Fisheries Ministry admitted yesterday that there has been a delay in overtime payments for some of its workers, saying this was due to unjustifiable claims submitted by some staff members. Claims that were not in dispute have already been settled. Others were sent back to the directorate for clarification. Payments will be effected once merit to the claim has been established, said the Ministry Executive Director Annalie Haipene also denied allegations of threatening and intimidating staff members during a meeting she held with them last week. On the front page of Republican, the announcement by the Namibian Association of Medical Aid Funds that the 2023 standard tariff will remain unchanged until at least the end of the first quarter of 2024 and possibly longer effectively constitutes a reduction in members' benefit because funds will not compensate for medical inflation. On page 3, in a bid to address the multifaceted challenges posed by HIV and AIDS in Namibia, the Catholic AIDS Action Trust is actively engaging in community-based interventions. The organization, working in the grassroots level, not only focuses on individuals living with HIV and AIDS, but also extends its support to those facing other social problems, particularly centered around poverty, vulnerability, vulnerability and gender-based violence during a recent handover of toiletries, books and toys as part of Namibia Media Holdings Give Hope Charity Initiative. CAA Director Lawrence Hembapu highlighted the organization's effort to meet the diverse needs of those that are affected by HIV and AIDS. Allgemeine Zeitung on its front page reports that the South African ports are suffering from enormous congestions, which is not expected to be alleviated until the end of February. The impact on cost and loss of business during the Christmas season is massive. Namibia ports are now alternative, but this puts a heavy strain on the Namibian road network. On page 2, AZ is attending to the construction company that is building SWAPO's headquarters and has also won a $1 billion Namibian tender for a road line which is believed to be falsifying its tax document. Another arrest was made this week. A high-ranking employee of the Chinese construction company Unique Construction and Engineering was arrested on Tuesday for allegedly buying a fake tax clearance certificate. This was reported by the Namibian. Now, the finance manager at Unique allegedly paid 6,000 Namibian dollars to fake a certificate in front of the Namra building. We return with more newspaper reviews, starting with the Namibian newspaper. The Namibian reports that private school secretary Salom Hango and a 17-year-old grade 9 learner who allegedly stole examination question papers and memoranda will not escape the wrath of the law. This was revealed by the Executive Director of Education, Arts and Culture, Sanet Steenkamp. She said the changes in the case would involve education officers, including the principals of those affected schools who reported the matter. Moving over to our next story, a group of unemployed teachers graduate yesterday held a demonstration in Windhoek during which they called on the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture to employ them. The spokesperson of the Unemployed Teachers Committee, Kaunda Yesaya, said their grievances have fallen on deaf ears and called for the government to act and deliver jobs. Now, the New Era's lead story reports that High Court Judge David Munsu has set 12 December as the date for his ruling on the bail application of 2 Fishrot accused. He made the announcement on Wednesday after hearing oral submissions from defense lawyers Florian Bierkes and Banga Siomunji, as well as state advocate respectively. Moving over to our next story, on page 3, the Fisheries Ministries expressed concern over the state of the horse mackerel stock and urged the industry to avoid its unsustainable harvest. Horse mackerel, the largest fish stock harvested in Namibia waters, had a total allowable catch of not less than 300,000 metric tons over the year. South Africa and Angola also engage in horse mackerel harvesting, with Namibia exporting most of its catch to West African countries. We will be right back with economic news after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
In economic news this afternoon, the weight of debt is bearing down on Namibians as they find themselves trapped in a vicious cycle of borrowing due to a combination of monetary policies, inflation, and rising interest rates, according to economist Meli Likumela. With the credit-to-income ratio hovering between 70 and 80%, many Namibians are forced to rely on debt to make ends meet. The situation is further compounded by Bank of Namibia's mandate to control inflation and interest rates. We will be back shortly with our African news. A court in Germany has sentenced a Gambian man to life in prison for his role in a paramilitary unit killed opponent of former ruler Yahya Jammeh. Bai Lowe, who's 47, was a driver for the unit known as the Junglers and was convicted of crimes against humanity, murder, and attempted murder. We return shortly with international news. Stay with us. Hold on. Israeli warplanes resumed the compounding of Gaza. Palestinian civilians fled the shelter and rocket sirens blared in southern Israel on Friday as war resumed after a week-long truce collapsed with no deal to extend it. The Israeli military announced it had resumed combat operation, accusing Hamas of violating the truce first by firing rockets. We will be back with sports news. Hold on. In our local sports news this afternoon, Gaza will host the Brave Gladiators of Namibia today at 15:30 in the first leg of the WACN qualifier match at the Accra Sports Stadium. The team will travel to South Africa for the second leg on the 5th of December, with the winner on aggregate qualifying for Morocco 2024. After the break, we return with international sports news. Stay with us. The curling knockout semi-finals will be played this week at the Richards Bay host Stellenbosch FC on Saturday, and Amazulu welcomes TS Galaxy on Sunday. TS Galaxy and Amazulu are the only two of the remaining sides to have lifted a knockout trophy in the past. We return with highlights from today's broadcast shortly.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Here are the highlights from today's broadcast. A court in Germany has sentenced a Gambian man to life in prison for his role in a paramilitary unit that killed opponents of former ruler Yahya Jammeh. Israeli warplanes resumed the pounding of Gaza. Palestinian civilians fled the shelter and rocket sirens bled southern Israel on Friday as war resumed after a long-week truce collapsed with no deal to extend it. And the Brave Gladiators will be hosted in Ghana today. And